the E.A.F.P podcast.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be.
We love him so much. He's a special person for all of us. He's so nice. He's so nice.
You can watch it live every week on Facebook under the Janko Navi and the Star 6 Media Facebook page. Hi everybody, how are we doing today? Welcome to the E.A.F.P podcast here on the John Konavi Facebook page, Star 6 Media Facebook page. Make sure you follow us on all their social media platforms on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all our social media platforms on the Star 6 Media and the John Konavi apps, Facebook apps. Yeah, and welcome to the show. Man, I mean, what can I say? Where do we start? I mean, look, let me just do this because normally I like to do the breakdowns of every single game that happened throughout the day, right? But for today's show, for today's episode, just right now at this very moment, I will go away from what I normally do for today's show and just focus on one simple thing. You can join me here too on the app too as well. If you guys want to talk about the game, I will put the link on here if you guys want to join me live. Let me just post that up real quick. You guys can join me at any time, comment at any time, join me at any time to talk about, just talk about today's game or just the World Cup in general. How do you guys feel about the World Cup today? The links are on the comment section. Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep my spirits up, but man, it's hard. It's too damn hard. It's difficult. It's difficult to do so. Just because of what we witnessed. Literally woke up at 5 a.m. to, at least watch the second half of, the first game. Then, watching the second game between Poland and Saudi Arabia, which had good implications for, for what we witnessed the last 2-3 hours, 4 hours. And then we will see France come back and win. I mean, look, my spirits are down. As you can see, I'm trying to do the best job I can to keep them up, just to provide you guys a good show. But let's go on it. Like I said, let's start off with the games for Group D first. As you can see, I have the ticker down there. Australia beat Tunisia 1-0. Dunk with the goal in the 13th minute. That's pretty much it. That's all we got to talk about. France came back, Mbappe with 2 goals after being down 1-0. And came back and won 2-1. France, no World Cup curse. The team is heading on to the round of 16. First place in that group. Looks like they're not going to go anywhere. So there's no Champions curse this year for France. They took care of business how they were supposed to do into this group. So we're going with that too as well. So we're done with Group D. Like I said, I normally go a breakdown to every single game because I do actually wake up every morning to watch all the games. Poland 2-0 over Saudi Arabia. Lewandowski finally scores his first goal in the World Cup. You can see how much that meant to him crying in tears. And they gift him a goal with like 80 some odd minutes left. And he gets his first goal. Poland gets the first win of the World Cup. They're in first place in Group C with 4 points. All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is basically what we're here for. First things first. Okay. Anybody out there, coach, player who's played at a high level, we've all probably been through everywhere between all of us. I know all my soccer people out there have probably played a good level of soccer, right? From all the coaches and everybody else, right? Okay, cool. And I got that out of the way. I really did get that out of the way. I want to clarify that. I really, really do. But when and how and who in their right mind would change the tactics around for not only just a any regular old regular game, right? Not just any regular game, but who would also want to change up the lineups of the players, right? I think that's the key thing. Now, I would understand if you change the lineup, but you keep the same 11 players. Try something different. Okay, I'll give you that part. Even that's a stretch. Even that's a very big stretch. All right, and I don't even want to wear this hoodie right now. But anyways, even that's a big stretch. But when you change up the lineups, when you play against a team who is going to be more ball dominant than you find a way to apply pressure to try to win the ball back as best as you can. All right, cool. I only asked for one sub, and I got that song. And I think Kelvin Alvarez had an okay game today, better than what Jorge Sanchez did on Tuesday. I'll give you that part. Um, but the lineup that Tata Martino showed out today, it showed that he was scared from the start. It showed that Tata Martino was just going to be complacent enough with with just a victory or with a tie. I mean, the first half, as bad as it was from both teams, Mexico did I guess an okay job in keeping their structure together and keeping whatever Argentina out of the net with a few moments here and there. But that's about it. No teams created nothing in the first half to be like, okay, this tactical change is working. They both of them were poor on the ball. Both of them were poor on possession. Both of them lacked offensive structure going up forward, going up top. None creativity whatsoever. And yet, it was still coming out the same thing. Andres Guardado, I get it. Fifth World Cup, you give the guy his credit, you give his guys his accolades, you give him a round of applause for doing what he's doing right now. Another player going to his fifth World Cup, and he's been great. He's been one of the Mexico's greats, and I get that. Why are you starting him? It's a serious question. Why are you starting Andres Guardado? What's the meaning of Andres Guardado being your starting lineup? Mexico doesn't have those gritty, hard-fought players, the ones that go for almost every tackle, that doesn't mind the physicality, that doesn't mind getting in a scruffle or two every once in a while. Mexico doesn't have those type of players, but they do have one. Where was he? Where was Edson Alvarez? Why was he on the bench? And even when Andres Guardado comes out to the injury, why Eric Gutierrez? What did he do throughout the game? In a game where you're being dominant on the ball throughout the most entire game, what's the one thing you have to do? Fight for the ball. Nope. Herrera, Guardado, Chavez, Moreno. Nobody fights for the ball. Nobody's going to fight to get that ball. Nobody's going to get dirty with these quote unquote technical players. You know who will? Edson Alvarez. Why was he on the bench? For damn sure it wasn't because he was hurt. Because if he was hurt, we would have heard this hours before the game. Hours before the game. We would have heard that Edson Alvarez wasn't playing. I didn't understand the shirt. By the way, when have we ever seen Mexico under Tata Martino play a 3-5-2? When? I remember him playing a 3-4-3 against Uruguay. You know what the score was? 3-0 Uruguay. I remember them going, I think it was the same lineup, 3-5-3 against sometime like a while back, like last year. You know what the score was? And Mexico lost 2-1. I think it was Canada, if I'm not mistaken, who they lost against that. In a World Cup qualifier. World Cup qualifier. If 97% of your games that you've been in charge of, you've played a 4-3-3, why are you changing it now? Hell, you didn't do anything with the 4-3-3. You're definitely not going to do anything with this 3-5-2. So what's the difference? Why change it? Tata was scared. Tata wanted to be the do something different. There's no secret in this box when it comes to the World Cup. We know your lineups. We know the lineups hours before the game. These players adapt quickly. These coaches adapt quickly. Why change it? You had a very, very great game on Tuesday. With the team that you had in, even though you didn't score a goal, you were, you know, Poland gave you the opportunity to play however you wanted to play. You created the opportunity. Okay, fine. I didn't see anything from Chucky Lozano because there was no ball service. I was talking to my dad about that. He said I was seeing the game very differently. No, there's a reason why I saw the way that they were, because there was no type of offensive push in the midfield. There was no type of midfield battles won from the Selección Mexicana. And every time you've seen, I think there was like 17 fouls committed by Mexico today, 18, 19. No, it felt like it was a lot more. But the reason why there were so many fouls because Mexico doesn't know how to challenge the ball. At least they don't have the players to challenge the ball the way that they do. And they were always late. They were always late to every single play coming into this game or going into this game. They did they did what they needed to do for 68 minutes until Messi scored the goal. It was a perfect shot from Lionel Messi. He placed it perfectly where Ochoa couldn't reach the net or reach the ball. It was just perfect. Messi doing Messi things, right? You can say whatever you want to say. You gotta give credit where credit is doing that part. The second goal pissed me off. The second goal is what's bothering me right now at the moment because one, they were slow to react to the ball. Two, they were slow to react even before the play even started. Everybody was just walking back. They already looked defeated after the goal when there was still 20 minutes left in the game. Hell, even the subs from Tata, like I could go on and on and on about this. And I think I probably will. I think most of this podcast is just me just bashing Mexico and Tata Martino and how stupid they played today. It was embarrassing. It was pathetic. It was horrible. It was ugly. It was worse than, like, I feel like a coach that coached little kids could do a better job and understands the situation quicker and easier than Tata Martino did. I don't know what the hell he was thinking. I don't. I honestly don't. You guys tell me. You guys help me out here on what was the idea behind Tata Martino's game plan today. Because I don't get it. I get it. He's Argentina. He's from Argentina. He played against Argentina. You think that he would probably had a better performance than what he did today, simply because it probably meant something to him. Now, unfortunately, none of us got to see the national anthems of Argentina and Mexico today for some apparent reason. I watched it on Telemundo. I watched the Spanish broadcast, so we didn't get to see it, which sucks. But you would think that he wants to prove something. If there's any big, I could care less. At this point, it doesn't matter if he takes the United States Mexico game serious or Canada or any other CONCACAF game serious. I don't care about that. If there's one game that you knew from months in advance that you were going to play against your national team on the World Cup stage, the second game of the group stage, you would think you want to go all out for this game. Hell, at this point, I really didn't even care if you put in Funes Mori, who's also Argentinian, by the way, who's also from Argentina. Putting him will give him that motivation. You will want to put your best chips out there. Now, granted, look, the teams going forward, it is what it is, right? They lack strikers, they lack creativity, they lack whatever the case may be. I don't care. But you would put something into this game, the most important game. This one was important because of the fact of the matter is you tied last week with no goals. You got a point, you got a result. The game earlier between Poland and Saudi Arabia helped you out a little bit simply because the other team that you played, they got their 3 points and the team that won last week didn't. So no matter what the result was, if a tie or a win, I can't say whatever the result was, a tie or a win or result, something, anything would have been still great and still would have been perfect simply because you were still in the mix. Instead, you bring out this load of crap into this game today. It was embarrassing. The first game, I get it. The first game was you're figuring out it's the very first game of the World Cup. Everybody does the same thing unless if you're just an inferior opponent. France, Spain. Who else had a easy going through? And Brazil had an easy going. It's like games like that. The first game where you dominate against weaker opponents. But last week you were the dominant team throughout probably 80 minutes, 75 minutes of the game. You had no shots on. You had no goals opportunity. I don't even remember outside of Alexis Vega. I don't even think I could remember a shot on goal on Emi Martinez from the Selección Mexicana, other than the free kick, which was given to them. Like, make this make sense, guys. Like, I don't understand why they started the way they did. And yesterday, I was hopeful yesterday simply because I was saying, the Selección Mexicana in every World Cup they always somehow, some way turn up against the bigger opponents in the World Cup group stages. At least the group stages. Nothing today. Absolutely nothing today. The 3-5-2 didn't make sense. The not putting a striker didn't make any sense. Taking out Edson Alvarez didn't make sense. Putting in Andres Guardado didn't make any sense. Playing Alexis Vega and Chucky by themselves on top with no support behind them didn't make any sense. Chucky's fast, but Chucky's one-dimensional. Chucky is just speed and speed only. And then when he gets to a certain point, he breaks off either left or right, and it takes off again. He doesn't have any type of movement whatsoever to take away a defender 1v1 other than his speed. Alexis Vega, sure, he's technical on the ball. Sure, he could probably get rid of a play, but he's not as fast as what you think. And if you give him the opportunity, he'll take the shot. Those were our attacking options, guys. And then we have 30 some odd year old Andres Guardado in your midfield, along with another 32, 33-year-old Hector Herrera in the midfield too as well, with one young cat. Oh, and by the way, I don't even think he even went up once to support. I don't make it make sense. I'm just upset. I don't get it. I don't get it whatsoever on why and how we got the performance today that we did. I don't. I really, really don't. I don't. 5-3-2. 5-3-2 is you. Luis Chavez was a shell of himself today. I just have a headache. I really do. I was hoping. Look, at least some type of result, right? That's all I cared about was just some type of result. That's all I cared about. That's it. Just the type. Just the point. I would have been okay. I would have been okay. And why take out Andres Guardado? Because he's slow. Because he's old. Because you thought you were going to get something out of him. That's coming from Josh off of Facebook, who commented on my Facebook page. By the way, that's where I'm reading from right now. And then he got hurt. I think he got hurt. I don't understand. I don't understand. This was the biggest game. We've known this since the drawings of the group. I texted my brother and I was telling my brother the two teams that I didn't want to play, the two teams I got. They played good against Poland, but I knew they were going to struggle against Argentina. I shouldn't be this upset. But the fact of the matter is the fact that this performance overall just pissed me off. They weren't ready. They were scared. They had nothing. They couldn't defend well. They were slow to every single ball. They lacked structure. And then when the subs were even worse. Andres Guardado comes on hurt. Why not bring Edson Alvarez in if you know you're getting dominated in the midfield? Where? Why? How? Make that make sense. Instead, you bring Eric Gutierrez, who's having a great season at PSV. He's doing well. I get that, but in a big time game, you would rather have a guy who plays in Holland in Europa League, who's a starter, or a guy who actually has some type of purpose in his team in Ajax playing Champions League football. And by the way, is your best player on this team. That's not name Guillermo Ochoa. Instead, you put in Eric Gutierrez. You put in Eric Gutierrez in this game instead of Edson Alvarez. The biggest game in your calendar for the qualifications for the group stage of the World Cup, you don't put in your best player. Josh on Facebook says, I was really hoping for at least a tie or at least 1-1, not even a single goal we were able to make. We haven't made a goal in like 3 months. I know I'm over exaggerating a little bit, but we haven't scored a goal in a single game so far in the group stage. We haven't even came close outside of 2, maybe 3 opportunities so far in this World Cup. But yeah, you want to defend with a line of 3 with a Nestor Araujo who had a subpar game, with Hector Moreno who can do whatever he can do, and a Cesar Montes who's young and learning and is going to be a decent center back for the Selección Mexicana for the next World Cup coming up. But you expect them to do what other than sit back, relax, and observe all the pressure? They could only do that for a certain period of time. There was no support from the midfield whatsoever. You take out Hector, like your subs didn't even make sense. Your subs did not make sense. Starting from the Andres Guardado. You take out Chucky Lozano for Alvarado. Why? Why? You take out Alexis Vega and you put in Antuna. Who, don't get me wrong, I was always a believer, and I said this before the World Cup even started, that preferably in this 4-3-3 that Tata likes to play, I would give the edge to Vega and Antuna with Raúl Jiménez or Henry Martin on top than anything, because it gives you something different. And I think that's what the Selección Mexicana needed, is something different. I said that before this World Cup started, and I was okay with that. I get it. Chucky's Chucky. That's fine. But give me something different, because this hasn't been working for months. This hasn't been working throughout the qualifications. Nothing like this has been working. You put in Raúl Jiménez, who hasn't played a single minute, I don't think, so far in Wolves. You had Santi Jimenez, El Bebote, scoring goals in Europe. You're the leading goal scorer in the Europa League. You didn't call him up. You needed creative players. You had Diego Lainez out there somewhere in the world. You didn't call him up. Instead, you put in Oribe Peralta, who you probably won't even put a single minute into this game or in this tournament. You need creativity. That he's creative enough and quick enough to do something with the ball to help going up in attack. You bring in Funes Mori for what? Raúl Jiménez, I love him. I know where he comes from. You know who, if you know me, you know who I support and why I will be a little bit biased towards Raúl Jiménez, but he hasn't played a single minute, while Chicharito is still scoring goals in the MLS with the Galaxy, and El Bebote being the leading scorer in the Europa League with Feyenoord. Henry Martin has been your best forward so far, your best striker so far this season. He hasn't played in like 2.5 weeks since America has been eliminated in the semifinal for La Liga MX before the World Cup even started. So yes, you're going to come back down to earth a little bit. You played him the last game and you decided to go with Alexis Vegas and Chucky Lozano as your only forward. That gap in the middle going from midfield up was so astronomically big, and a gap in a hole that Argentina could have done whatever the hell they wanted to do there in their own half. Why? Because there was nobody supporting them in the middle. There was nobody distributing the ball left and right. There was nobody there. Guys, make sure you follow the John Conavi Facebook page and also the Star 6 Media page on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Make sure you guys hit the little bell to get notified when all of our episodes and podcasts are going up live from my soccer podcast. It's going to be live every game for the World Cup. Also, what else? I can't even think of the other episodes too as well. Guys, I do apologize. I'm just very upset and heated. Baldinho, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Good commenting. He's like, these guys played with the intentions of tying and not winning. Exactly. That was his original plan from the start. Why? I don't. I didn't understand this whatsoever. I didn't. I was pissed from the moment that I heard the lineup. Getting ready to go to my mom's house to watch the game. Pissed. Pissed because I heard the name Andres Guardado starting. Why? Andres Guardado doesn't need to start a game. He could play in a game as a sub to do whatever you need to do to control the game, to do this, to do that. That's it. But not to start. And by the way, he got hurt with 40 minutes into the game, not before halftime. You already wasted one sub there. I get it. Injuries are part of the game. I know I'm being too hard and too critical here, but injuries are part of the game, and I understand that 100%. But that didn't even make any sense from the get-go. He hasn't even played or started a single game in Betis so far this year, outside of like maybe 2 or 3, and has been coming off the bench. Even then, he still barely gets any playing time. Father says, thoughts on the final matches with this group? I'm hoping Argentina blows out Poland and we at least get 2 goals so we can advance. But that's even hard for me to say that right now, too, after the performance we saw. Because Saudi Arabia was good enough to even score a goal and defeat Poland today. They were just unlucky and errors. They beat themselves. Argentina has a chance and has the opportunity. They know that coming seconds in this group is the second place team in this group is going to play against France. Do you honestly believe that Argentina wants to play against France in the round of 16? Hell, does anybody want to play France? I don't care who comes out of this group. Whoever comes second in this group is going to have a very long, tough day against France. But mind you, all of us, Pale, you, everybody else who's watching this show, you tell me if you had the opportunity to play against the top dogs of the top dogs in the first round or the round of 16, or you probably play like the second weakest team, knowing that's going to be an okay, decent team. Who would you rather have to make it advance to the quarterfinal and have an easier route to the final? Obviously, you want to come out first in the group, right? I get it. You're like, oh, you want to, if you beat the best, yeah, you're going to get that in the quarterfinals and you're going to get that in the semifinal. The first round, the round of 16, you get your easy matchup right then and there, because here comes the Germanys, the Brazils, the Spains, the Frances, the who else? Like all those other teams that are coming in the quarterfinal and on. You're gonna get it there. I'm just annoyed. I'm annoyed, man. I expected. I don't know why I thought I expected more. Honestly, I don't know why I thought I expected more, but I expected somewhat half of the performance that we got on Tuesday kind of carry over, and maybe a chance or two, would pop up. I didn't get none of that. And I knew this was going to be a good game from the moment that he went 3-5-3 or 3-5-2. I knew it. I still had hope, but that's my fault. And now look, if you read this ugly hand, pérdida de tiempo. That's literally what I wrote today. With the Group C, with Poland at 1, Argentina at 2, Saudi Arabia at 3, Mexico dead last. If you can read this ugly handwriting, congratulations. You are a very smart person. Group D, you got France who qualified already with 6. Then you have Australia with 3, Denmark with 1, Tunisia with 1, with second place up for grabs here. By the way, the one that's coming out of second place in that Group D plays against first place in this group. So there's a shot, I guess, somewhere. Mexico still has an opportunity to win. If Argentina finds a way to tie and Mexico wins by like 4, I guess they could advance. We just hope for Argentina win by a blowout and Mexico scoring like 2 or 3 goals just because of goal difference. That second goal killed us. It killed every single. It killed the opportunity to trying to make it out of the group. A 1-0 victory is a 1-0 victory. I'll take that anytime. I'll take that any day. Right? Or a 1-0 defeat. But 2, in a tournament like this, where you only guarantee 3 games, you got to be desperate to score more than 2 goals on Tuesday or Wednesday when they play again. But I shouldn't be disappointed because I saw this coming. I did. And yet here I am with my heart out, with my emotions out, simply because I care. And knowing that damn well that it's deeper than just these guys playing. It's more deeper than that. It's deeper than that. It really is. It really is. Luckily it's Saturday. I have no plans. I'll just probably go buy a 12-pack and drink my sorrow away. So if anybody wants to join me today in this sorrow day for me, you guys are more than welcome to come over. But Balde, Josh, everybody watching and liking, commenting, thank you very much. I will be live tomorrow too as well to talk about the rest of group. What is it? E.F.P. Tomorrow in the World Cup. So hopefully we get news tomorrow that Tata Martino is going to be fired after the World Cup. Maybe not. Who knows? We'll see. Let's see how it goes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's my rant for the day. Sorry for the rest of the teams, even though you probably don't even care and don't know who I am. But, sorry I didn't give you as much plug and much love than normally I do for all the other podcasts. But, again, stay tuned for every other podcast coming out every day for the World Cup up until the final, all the way up to December 18th, as I'm going to be live each and every day to give you guys the World Cup update and talk about World Cup and anything else that's going on. Even here and there. Hey, Manchester United and Cristiano Ronaldo even cut out the contract. I was supposed to talk this the other day. Didn't go through. But hey, Ronaldo's free agent. His interview was crazy. If you guys haven't seen it, you guys go right ahead and find that interview because he didn't just pour the tea. He drenched and tossed and did everything. Literally he just, let everything out. So, they terminated the contract. He's a free agent. Nobody could claim him all the way up to January. So we'll see where he goes after that. Oh, and by the way, he had a decent performance too. So if anybody thought that Portugal was going to have some type of letdown because of the Cristiano Ronaldo rumors or drama, no, not going to happen. That group is too easy for them to blow it out that way. Again, thank you, Padre. Thank you, Josh, for tuning in, guys. I'll be live every single day. Make sure you guys follow me on my personal Facebook page, Eric Saul Avila. Like I said, I'll like and share all my shows. Hell, share my episode today to let all your friends know that I'm doing the podcast too as well. I know we're all mutual friends here. I want to talk to all you guys, see how you guys feel. And not only just my podcast, but also all the other podcasts too as well. Support our media production group that we have started, Star 6 Media, where all our episodes are going to be out. E.A.F.P, Big League Chicago, Sports Strip Live, 3 Up, 3 Down, Only Football, the JCA Sports Podcast. All of our podcasts are under the Star 6 Media brand. You can still follow us on the John Conavi Facebook page too as well. Send us a friend request. We'll always accept all our friends' requests. So you guys can watch our show too. Just hit that little bell to get notified when our episodes are live, because we do this live and personal for you guys to join us too as well, because it's not only just for us, but it's for you guys too as well to hop on. Thank you for listening to my very angry whatever this was rant. My emotional rant, my emotions out. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for joining me, Pandey and Josh, and everybody else. Stay tuned tomorrow. Probably more than likely like a 3 o'clock game, 6 o'clock the latest. I'll post it up on all 3 platforms. My personal Facebook page, John Conavi, and Star 6 Media, of when my show will be live. So stay tuned for that too as well. So thank you guys for joining. Like I said, I'm gonna get really, really drunk tonight. I'm just gonna drink my sorrow away. And we'll see. I'll be in a better mood tomorrow than I am today. Make sure you guys follow us on all the social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and Instagram too as well. And then just support us every way, shape, or form. So thank you guys for coming on. Thank you guys for hopping on. Thank you guys for listening and watching my angry self. I will see you guys tomorrow in a better mood. Until then, guys, I'll see you then.
The medicine man arrives again!
He's a Scrooge smile with the quality of his goal.
Caesar you later.
Yes. Yes.
He's intolerable.